and he propels himself down using force of will and also the force of gravity. I'm in sound and I saw Mission Impossible 4. It is directed by Brad Bird, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. The movie starts, there's this guy who has nuclear code stolen and Ethan Hunt is needed. There's a guy named Cobalt and he's responsible for this bombing that happens. But I do love how he is framed, Ethan Hunt is framed for this bombing. And I absolutely love the part where we have IMF, he's like, all right, I didn't do the bombing. And IMF is like, I know, we know. You gotta crash the car. You gotta do it. You gotta get out of the car somehow. But while they're discussing the plans, they get derailed anyway. And I love it because it's like, who knew that a third party would want to get them off the road? This guy who is like, okay, Ethan Hunt, you gotta make sure, you gotta go after Cobalt some more. Ethan Hunt is really sad to have the secretary gone, but I do like how he regroups with some fellow team members, Jane and Benji. Benji was from the last movie, so I like him a lot. I love the whole intricate plan to get Cobalt, okay? And it requires a lot of moving parts. First of all, we gotta go to this very tall tower, and I mean, we gotta infiltrate the security system for the entire mainframe. The security includes the elevators, which is cool. We gotta hack into that. But how are we going to get into that? It's on the 100th and something floor, and it's like a lot of firewalls, a lot of physical protection. The only way to get in is via the window. And I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? I know that Tom Cruise does his own stunts. What is he gonna do here? Well, he starts climbing on the side of the skyscraper. He has these gloves that suction to the side of the building, but one of them starts to die while he's like hundreds and hundreds of feet up in the air. And I feel super anxious the entire time I'm watching this sequence. I'm like, please, do not fall, guy. Oh my goodness. And there's a time where he almost falls, but he catches himself. And I'm like, oh geez, all right, guy. And then he gets to that security floor and he's cutting into the glass and it's super nerve-wracking. He's balancing on his leg, which is, first of all, really dumb. He falls from that, catches himself up, he has to climb back up, he has to break the glass. And then he gets into the security place, and then I'm like, all right, the next thing I'm thinking of is how are you going to get out after you do all the fun security, oh, I'm gonna plug this thing in, plug this thing out, do all that fun computer stuff. How is he going to get out? Both of his things are dead, and I mean both of them, all right? I love how useless these gloves are. But there is this cable, it looks to me like belt. It honestly looks like a belt. It could be like a really strong ribbon cloth rope or something. And he ties it around his body and he propels himself down using force of will and also the force of gravity. He goes down. He literally runs down the skyscraper and it's too short, but then, oh no, wow, it's the window that he's supposed to jump into. How is he gonna make it? Well, he walks backwards and then he does a little run and jump and then he disconnects himself and then he like almost makes it, but he lands badly and falls backwards. If it wasn't for Jane or Benji to catch him, who knows where he would be? I don't know if he would ever be able to save himself. That would be the end of Ethan Hunt, but thank goodness that they were there to save him. That is the coolest sequence in the entire movie. That's the one that stood out in my mind because I was like, oh my goodness, this is insanity. I love it. This is great filmmaking. I feel it's so incredibly tense. Like, I'm the most tense person in the entire world. What is going on with these tense levels? Then we got another cool plan, all right? We got Brant, we got Ethan, we got Jane in on this plan, all right? We have the seller of the coat, and then we also have a woman who's supposed to have diamonds. We're doing a whole switcheroo. We gotta change the numbers on the hotels. And then we gotta make sure we gotta stall the elevator so they go to the wrong room. And then we switch up the rooms. We have Jane pretending to be the person who's giving the diamonds to the guy who's actually wanting to buy the nuclear codes. And then we have the actual seller of the diamonds trying to get the nuclear codes. This is super incredibly tense. I'm watching this, I'm like, are they going to pull it off? I feel like in this complicated of a plan, you gotta at least have some sort of security that this plan is going to make it. And while watching this, I'm like, something's gonna mess up. Someone's gonna mess up the plan. But who will mess up the plan? Well, with all this intricate plan stuff, ultimately the plan falls apart when the lady who has the real diamonds to get the real nuclear codes, that lady notices the little digital clicker in Brant's eye, which I thought was cool. It was kind of weird seeing him like blink twice, and that is definitely very suspicious. He's not trying to hide that at all. And so she's starting to start something like, you're not real. We found another guy. He's selling weapons. And he's a guy in India. So we have Jane trying to seduce him, which is cool. We have Benji and Brant's trying to get, oh, we gotta mess up the nuke. Oh no, it's sending early. We gotta get out of there. And then I find it cool that they do get out of there. And it's really tense, like it down to the last second before we deactivate this nuclear device. Very tense overall movie. I enjoy the entire experience of this movie much more than the other ones. Oh man, the tension level is great and all the characters are great. These characters had personalities, these characters had motivations, which I felt for, especially Brant. And I like how Brant feels responsible for the death of the loved one of Ethan, but Ethan overall forgives him while he's giving him a mission. I'm like, I like how cyclical this series is, and I like how Ethan is now the one giving away the missions, which is really cool. The characters are well-rounded. This was much more exciting for me to watch than, I guess, the third one and the first one. Not as good as the second one in my opinion, but this was pretty good. I enjoyed watching it. I would watch it again. I'm excited to see what Tom Cruise does again for wacky stunts, so I gotta give this movie like a solid 7.4 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. You can also like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer. So if I haven't reviewed it on a channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. Like to request a movie in the comments below. You can do it, you can fast track a movie review at patreon.com/ASEPresents. $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, $3 a month how to draw Kokomo tutorials. Purchase early and first, all at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, you can go to this link tree, find the way that you can help support the daily grind of all these daily movie reviews. So, until next time, I'll see you later tomorrow. Big bits.